Hi there, my name's Malia. If you are new here, I was laid off this past summer. I received my layoff notice June 27th. My last day of my job was August 27th. I had the best of intentions of doing much more regular videos, just updating my layoff journey and looking for a new job. And I'm going to take these off. Can you see that shadow right there? That looks really funny. I don't have bifocals. It's not from a bifocal line. It's because I have a light on up here that is diffusing light downward instead of this this direction. But that just looks funny, and I don't want to talk to you like this. Um, anyway, back to the story. So I had the best of intentions of doing regular layoff videos, just chronicling my job search, how that was going, what was and wasn't working, and I just didn't do that. Partially, I was pretty depressed for a little while. The outlook was pretty grim. I was getting job offers that were, you know, I wouldn't be able to pay my bills with what they were offering. And a lot of them, they were offering very little for very demanding jobs. They're, you know, like any job search, I applied to a lot of places that I just didn't hear back at all. Um, I did get one job offer where they told me they didn't even need to interview me, they just wanted to hire me on the spot. Unfortunately, that was one of the ones that was paying really quite little for what the job was. In fact, I haven't made that little money in more than 10 years, maybe even more than 15 years, outside of a seasonal retail job I did last year and one other job where I took the job out of desperation. I almost took this job offer out of desperation as well. Thankfully, about the same time, I suddenly had a whole bunch of companies wanting to interview me. I did end up interviewing for several positions. Two of them were with my former employer, the one that laid me off. However, these two positions would be full time, regular, permanent positions, and the job I just got laid off from was not a union covered position, and thus I did not get certain union protections and preferences when I got laid off when it came to rehire. Those two jobs both went to other people that had those preferential rehire preferences from their union representation. It wasn't a matter of I just chose not to join the union. The job I got laid off from didn't qualify for union membership as a contract position with a 6 month contract with um, options to renew. Unfortunately, I got laid off, so I didn't even get the option to renew. And that job was eliminated entirely. A third of the department I was in was eliminated after being promised that we wouldn't be. So both of those positions that I got offered, they would have paid fairly well, but as I said, they went to people that had that preferential rehire status thanks to the union. I did have the offer of a position without even interviewing, as I said, but the pay rate for that one was so low that I just couldn't take it unless literally nothing else came along. Um, if nothing else came along, I would have taken it because a job is better than no job, especially when you have bills to pay. Uh, and then let's see, I interviewed, I'm sorry, something feels like something is in my eye. I apologize. I interviewed for a job at another organization for a customer service facing position. It's something I have tons of experience doing. I mean, we're talking almost 15 years of experience. The pay scale fell into 3 tiers. They offered me a position in the middle tier, sort of the middle pay range. But the HR girl then said, "You're encouraged to negotiate this pay. I will help you negotiate this pay. You should negotiate this pay. You have a lot of experience, and we expect you to negotiate this offer." I negotiated. I came in with what I felt like I was worth, what I felt they should be paying me, and expected them to come back in the middle. Anytime I've ever negotiated a job, a salary, that's what's happened. They've said, "Here's what we're offering." I've said, "Here's what I want." And they've come back in the middle, and that's where we settled. And I was told repeatedly to negotiate by their own person in HR. So I did. And they said, no, this is not negotiable. So even if I had taken that job, it would not have started on a good footing. I would have felt bitter and a little bit jaded. Like, why did you tell me to negotiate and then refuse to negotiate? Um, so I just gave away that I did not take that job. I'm a little bit sad about it because I really liked the department that I was would have been in, really liked the fellow staff and employees. Everybody there was so nice, which would have helped get over the pay issue had I taken the job, but it is what it is. And then around that same time, I had a phone screening for a job at the employer that let me go. This position that I screened for on the phone, it was unfortunately a 6-month contract, so it does not have union representation, just like my last job. But because it doesn't have that union representation, I don't have to go up against this preferential rehire thing that resulted in me not getting other positions. There were a number of positions that I applied for where I was told, like, we're not even going to interview you because you don't have preferential hire status. There was a job I applied for where I was told, we really want to interview you, but HR told us we can't and we have to hire this other person because of the preferential status. So it wasn't that I wasn't wanted in any of these positions. It was this union thing, and generally I'm very pro-union. I have worked in union environments in the past, and they have been extremely helpful in certain situations. So I would love to go back into a union position. I work in healthcare, but it's really hard to get into a union position without a stepping stone at the company I'm at, which is a lot of people get hired on these 6-month contracts first, and then they're able to step into permanent union represented positions, which is my hope. Crossing my fingers. So I had this phone screening for this position. Downside, it's 6-month contract, no union representation. Upside, it could potentially lead to a permanent position because I'll have my foot in the door. After 5 months, I can start applying to permanent positions. So I had this phone screening. I interviewed with the other company that told me to negotiate. Then I interviewed formally for this position that I had the phone screening for. Then I was offered the position for the one that told me to negotiate. And it was a lovely place. Like, I would have loved to have worked there. And then I got interviewed for another place that was on the same floor, just down the hall in the same building of the one that told me to negotiate, but with a different company. Lovely people. Like, I would have been so happy in this job, but the pay again just was below what I really have been earning over the last several years. It was a little higher than the one that told me to negotiate, but not a ton. The people were incredible. The patients would have been incredible, but ultimately I was really tempted to accept the job. It did get offered to me, but the very next day I got a offer from the one that is with the employer that laid me off. So this is the position that is another 6-month contract, and they're going to pay me more than the position I left that I was laid off from. So this employer, supposedly having all these financial problems, laid me off, eliminated my job, now has rehired me at substantially more pay. Like, so much more that I was kind of in shock. I am absolutely grateful. Believe me, I'm so grateful. I accepted the position. I am very excited about it, and I start Monday. It will be Monday through Friday, 40 hours a week. Unfortunately, it is 100% on the phones. I am a huge introvert. I hate talking on the phone. It's all inbound calls. So I'm glad they're paying me quite a bit. I'm excited to have the job. I really like the people I interviewed with. I think I'm going to really like the department. I do like patients. I do like working with patients, but 100% on the phone, 40 hours a week scares me a little bit. I'm sure it will be fine. The pay will definitely make up for a lot of the stress, and after 6 months, I will be eligible to apply for other things. We'll see how it goes. I am spending this weekend getting all my ducks in a row at home. I'm gonna clean the house um, quite in depth. You'd think that being out of work for a month and a half, I would have been really on top of that, but being out of work and not knowing what you're going to do and trying to scramble to fill in the gaps in other ways is stressful. And when you're stressed, things go by the wayside. I have kept the house tidy, but it could be a little tidier. So I'm going to be cleaning this weekend. I'll be meal prepping. I filmed a little mini grocery haul and talked about the groceries that I bought today for some meal prepping. My hope is to have 5 breakfasts, 5 lunches, and a few dinners made this weekend in the freezer and the fridge. One of the downsides about starting this Monday is I'm starting at the beginning of a pay period. So I'll work for 2 weeks. The pay period will close, and then it'll be another week before I actually get my first paycheck. And this employer mails your first paycheck. So I'm hoping that the mail is on time. When they do direct deposit, you usually get your paycheck 1 to 2 days early. When they mail them, you usually get them right on the day. So we'll see how it goes. It'll be fine, I'm sure. But I do get a little bit nervous about those things. Let's see, what else can I tell you? That's the big news. In the past several weeks, to fill in the gaps, I've been doing some private tutoring. I am a private tutor. I started tutoring when I was 10 years old. My first student was a 2nd grader while I was a 5th grader through a program at my school, and I just never really stopped. I started formally tutoring as a job in my late teens, early 20s. Sorry, I see my cat about to jump on the counter. Just 1 second. Okay, hopefully the kitty will stay off the counter. I'm allergic to cats. My kid's partner has a cat. She's adorable. She's so cute, so sweet. My allergy generally is pretty mild, but this past week I had the flu. Was pretty sick, so my immune system is quite knocked down, and my allergy kind of went into overdrive. So I'm really trying to avoid touching her. She's heading for that counter again. Hopefully she'll stay off of it. Anyhow, where were we? So I'm going to meal prep, clean, just get all ready for this coming week. The first few days I'm allowed to wear business casual. I'm not sure about after that. I'm kind of hoping that I'll be allowed to wear scrubs, even though it's a phone job. It's just so easy to wear scrubs. My scrubs are all black, so I don't even have to think about it. I can mix and match and not worry about it. That just would make laundry and getting dressed every day so much easier. She is really... Kitty? She's really interested in the counter. I don't know why. Today's the first day that she's been interested in the counter. She tried to jump up there earlier when my kid and my kid's partner were getting ready for work, and now she's back at it. Hold on. Kitty. Hey. Stop that. Yep. Nope. Go down the hall. Go down the hall. Come on. Sorry about that, folks. I just put her down in the bedroom, in their bedroom, so that I won't have to worry about her jumping on the counter and getting into things and getting into the food that I just bought. Anyhow, so, okay, sorry for that interruption. So to fill in the gaps, I think I was talking about what I've been doing since getting laid off, besides looking for a job. I've been doing private tutoring. I do have some regular students, and I've taken on the sibling of one of my students as well this fall. Both of them, I am primarily tutoring literature and writing. specifically composition, literary analysis, things like that. But it's also application season, so I have been doing a lot of college and graduate school application essay and personal statement reviews. If you are in a position where you need that done, I'll have a link to my tutoring profile in the description. If you let me know that you found me through YouTube, I will give you a special rate. I have been listing things like crazy on Etsy and Poshmark and Mercari. Those links will also be in the description. And yeah, I'm just trying to get by. As I noted in one of my prior videos, my unemployment is unfortunately very little. It's not very much money because a couple of the jobs that I've had in the past 18 months have been less than full-time. If your job is less than full-time, it really diminishes the amount that you get in unemployment insurance on the back end. But I didn't expect to be unemployed, so I didn't know. Anyhow, start my position on Monday. It's a 6-month contract. I am toying with the idea of taking a seasonal Christmas retail job again just for the weekends and just, pounding away at some financial goals. I'm not totally sure that I'll be doing that yet, but I'm going to think about that this weekend as well. I did that last year and it really filled in the gaps during a time when one of my positions was less than full-time and I just really needed the money. Yeah, we'll see. So wish me luck. Job starts Monday. The first couple of days are onboarding, doing like online training modules, things like that. And then I think Wednesday I start a month of training in person with a trainer. A month feels like a long time for a 6-month contract position, but it is what it is. This is a position where I do have a lot of experience, so I may not need all of that training, but we'll see. So I'm excited. I'm nervous, and we'll see how it goes. Anyhow, see you later. Thank you. Bye.